So guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. In today's video, we're actually going to be talking about signing contracts with clients. Do you need them? If so, how do you use them? What should you do? Should you print off contracts? Should you send them by email? How do you basically go about signing these contracts, and are they important? That's what we're going to be covering in today's video. But before we jump into any of that, please do me a huge massive favor, you guys. It really does help me out here on the channel. Please drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and please make sure you turn on the notification bell if you're new around here, so that you get notified every time I drop a fire upload here on the channel. So in today's video, we're talking about, should you use contracts? Are they important? How should you do them, and how should you go about doing them if they're important? So first and foremost, are contracts important? Yes and no is the answer to that. And what I mean by that is, guys, look, contracts in the grand scheme of things, if you're only charging like 1 to 5k per month, are probably not as important as you actually think. A lot of people actually overthink this. Like, contracts, like I said, they're not really that important because people are not going to pretty much sue you for like 1 to 2k, 3k, 4k, 5k. Nobody's gonna take you to court and sue you for 5k per month. Believe me, it just doesn't happen. I've never heard it happen. To be fair though, I've heard some real horror stories over in the US. I know that you guys can literally get sued for sneezing, so it's a good idea just to put a contract in place just in case. So in my own personal opinion, contracts are not important. I literally have had contracts with clients from the very beginning of my journey. I've never really had a problem with contracts. Sometimes the contract goes void, and what I mean by that is, I'll put a contract in place. For example, it's only happened like once or twice maybe, where I've closed the client, they've signed the contract for a 3-month minimum, and then they've realized that they don't want to come on board because of certain expenses coming out. Or for example, like the whole COVID thing, it was like up and down. It happened to me, I think it was like 3 months ago or something like that. I closed the client, ended up signing the contract and whatnot. They then said they're kind of backing out of the deal, so I just refunded their money even though they signed the contract. So as you can see, contracts are kind of important, but they aren't that much important, if I'm being honest with you, if that even makes sense. I don't know why my English is fucking up today, guys. But anyway, guys, look, contracts, I say, like I said, they're not really that important, but I do recommend you put them in place. Now, how do you go about, putting a contract in place? First and foremost, what software you're going to use is, I highly recommend you use a software called docsketch.com. So it's literally docsketch.com. So I recommend you use that. I've used stuff like DocuSign and HelloSign, but I've actually found that DocSketch is the cheapest, and it also has the same functionality as you would get for all the other more expensive stuff. So what you're going to do, guys, is you're going to search on Google literally for a social media service contract. You can literally type into Google, I'm not even joking, social media marketing contract, and you can literally go and download a completely free and legally binding contract that's literally being written by an actual professional lawyer that speaks legal A's, because it's literally a different language when you're talking contracts. Like, legal A's and English is actually two different languages. I won't go into too much that into that detail, because that's a completely different video, different story for another day, if you will. But yeah, you are able to find literally free contracts online. If not, you can go to LegalZoom and find contracts as well. All your contract has to do is basically just state what you're going to be doing for the business, what you're not going to be doing for the business. You don't actually have to mention the price, which I'll get into in a second as to why. And you just want to make sure you have like a cancellation policy in there, and if they want, like, if they ever request a refund, what happens then, that sort of stuff, guys. So I recommend you go online. Again, I won't go into like all the nitty-gritty details into the contract, because like you'd have to start speaking like legal A's, and again, legal A's is genuinely a different language to what English is, which is why lawyers spend so much frigging time, in college, in school, learning this sort of stuff, because it literally quite genuinely is a different language. So that being said, guys, I'm not going to go into too much of the details. Just make sure that you guys have a contract in place that literally states very clearly what you are and what you are not going to be providing for this particular client. Now, my particular contracts, what I recommend you do is, in my own personal case, is make sure you have like an evergreen contract. Now, what I mean by that is, you don't want to mention the actual business's name in the contract. So what you're going to do is, you're going to download a contract off of the internet, and what you're going to do is obviously put your name in there. So it will say at the very top, like, this service agreement is between, and then you put your business name there, or your just your name there if you don't have a registered business, and someone else. So that someone else section you don't fill in, you leave it blank, because they can fill that in themselves. Then you want to make sure there's a signature section at the bottom, very bottom of course, of the actual contract, and the actual date as well that it was signed, so you can have the date and the signature as well. Now, the reason why I say you want want to do this, guys, is because you want to have an evergreen contract. And what DocSketch should I say, and what DocSketch allows you to do, guys, is have what you call a template contract. Now, a template contract basically means you can upload a blank PDF of your contract that basically has your name in it, and then like the blanks where the client would fill out when they come to sign the contract. Very easy to do, by the way. And then what you can do is upload that into DocSketch, and what you can do is actually set the contract up for the very first time, and you just set it and forget it. Basically, you set the contract up for the very first time. And what I mean by that is, so guys, what you're going to do is you're going to download your contract basically in a PDF form. If it's a 90-day contract, obviously mention that the term is 90 days, of course. I just want to throw that in there. Then you're going to upload that into DocSketch, and what you're going to do is in the blank areas, you're literally going to leave a blank line, as in like an actual line. You know, like when you sign on a dotted line, there's actually genuinely a fat black line there, or thin black line, should I say. What you want to do is leave those blank, and then what you can do is kind of like insert merge tag. It's almost like a merge tag, you know, like when you're sending cold emails and you have, you know, F name go here or company name go here. You can literally put on the actual PDF, you can actually edit it and drag and drop little like merge tags where you can actually put the company's name. So your company name's already written in the contract actually on the actual PDF document, and then there's a blank section. So what you're going to do is you're going to have, you know, this service agreement is between your business name, your actual business name is actually already going to live on that contract, like actually in the actual contract itself, and I'm talking like actually within writing on the contract. And then the second bit, you know, where it says your business and this business, the contract is between your business and their business, that's going to be a blank section. Now that blank section you put on like a little, what you call I call them like little merge tags, I guess. There's like a little merge tag where it says like the company name here, and then what you want to do is you want to make sure that your two signatures are basically at the bottom, but you can have DocuSketch automatically sign your contracts when you use a template contract. So what this allows you to do, guys, is when a client comes to your onboarding process, I recommend you kind of have your link, for example, in your onboarding process. So when you close a client, you take the payment. I've just made a video on taking payments, so watch that. Then they come to your onboarding process. In one of your steps of your onboarding process, you want to link out to your actual templated document. And what they do is they go and sign in basically with their email and their and a password. And then what that does is sends them the contract. They then open the contract. They then see that this service agreement is between your business, and your business name's already indexed. It literally is embedded in the contract. And then they have to put their business name in the actual blank section. It will actually say, you know, this is a required section. They put their business name in there. Then at the bottom, it will say, you know, you go through the contract, talks about your cancellation policy, that sort of stuff, termination of the services, what the services are, what they don't include, that sort of stuff. Then at the bottom, there's a signature section. Your signature should already be there if you set it up correctly, which, you know, it's not actually embedded in the contract, but because they've opened a contract, you already, as soon as they sign it, you sign it basically at the exact same time. Then there's like a bit at the bottom where they actually sign, which is again just another literally blank line where you then drag and drop the signature section here, and you say that that's their signature. So it shows you like your signature and then their signature. So like two little buttons. So you want to make sure that you obviously drag in, like, you know, it actually says client signature here, and then you drag that button and you put it on top of the actual line, so it looks like, you know, when they actually sign the contract, whether that be through, you know, actually squiggling with their mouse or just putting their initials in there, that basically then gets signed on their contract and looks legit and is legally binding as well. So that's how you basically go about setting up contracts. Now, that being said, like I said, I don't really recommend, you know, you go too crazy with your contracts because they're important, I guess, slightly. Like I said earlier, guys, contracts aren't really that important, but I do recommend you have one in place just in case. It just makes your client feel a little bit more comfortable. So I guess that's, you know, good enough within itself, a good enough reason within itself to actually offer a contract. So again, the reasons why you want to set this up is, and how you want to set this up is, you want to use it in your onboarding process, just you link out to a template contract. It does not supposed to include your price, because obviously you're going to be talking to different people, and it shouldn't actually mention, you know, their business or anything like that in the contract. It should just be an evergreen contract that you can send to everybody, and they can put their business name at the top and their signature at the bottom, and it will still make sense for everybody. And you know, the pricing section should just be, you know, the price is what we agreed upon you're going to pay us basically. And obviously that agreed upon price is what you talk about in your sales call. So if you come to agreement that your contract, what you're going to close them for is 2K per month, then obviously they have to pay 2K a month. So that's basically how you handle your contract. It's an evergreen contract, and obviously if you're in the 4-week program of mine, you already get these contracts and stuff like that that are legally binding and you know, actually professional, actually legally written by actual professionals and stuff like that. So you don't need to worry about that. But if you're not, obviously just go on the internet and I'm sure you can easily find, if you literally just Google social media marketing contract, social media management contract, or even social media services contract agreement, you will find a whole bunch of templates you can use. Just make sure it has a cancellation policy in there. Make sure you fill out what you're going to be offering and what you don't offer, and just make sure you have a clear signature section and a date so that they can, you know, sign the contract. And again, guys, the reason why I say you should use DocSketch is because it's an online kind of e-signature thing where they can literally sign online. You should not be faxing. Who even uses fax these days? Like the actual faxing machines. Who even prints out contracts these days and sends it to the client? Like that's ridiculous. We're not living in those times anymore. We're in 2021 at the time of recording this. So you definitely should be using e-signatures. And the e-signature software that I use is DocSketch, and it literally costs, I believe it's $10 to $8 a month or something like that. I actually believe it's $10 a month, but it's the cheapest one I've found, and I really love it. And it allows you to have 3 templated contracts, so you can actually just link to 3 different things. So if you offer, you know, for example, paid traffic services, that would be a 1 contract. If you offer social media management services, because obviously the service is different, that would be another contract. So those are your 2 contracts you basically need in SMMA if you're going to offer Facebook ads or if you're going to offer, you know, social media management. So those would be the contracts that you actually offer. So those 2 would be the contracts that you actually need in your business. Well, when I say need, I'm saying it very loosely because you don't really need them. It just makes you look, I guess, a little bit more professional, and it makes your clients feel a little bit more comfortable. And I guess it also sets expectations as to what you're going to be doing, what you're not going to be doing, and, you know, the way you take payments, which is auto billing, and how they cancel if they don't want to, you know, continue your services. And, you know, this is a 90-day program and you can't cancel it after the 14-day incubation period, that sort of stuff, guys. You get the idea. Just go on Google for a contract. With that being said, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I hope that now I've given you pretty much everything on this channel for completely free. So all I ask you guys to do is to literally just like, comment, subscribe. Literally, guys, if you cannot build a social media marketing agency just using my free videos on this channel, what are you actually doing? Just go through my channel. I'm telling you right now, I've shown you how to write cold emails, shown you how to do Upwork stuff, how to create a profile, how to take payments, how to sign contracts, how to create your onboarding process. I've literally told you all of this stuff, guys. By the way, guys, if you want to create a free onboarding process, you don't need to use ClickFunnels. You can literally use WordPress. You can literally use even like the cheaper version of that is to literally just create a Vimeo channel and just actually just have your 7 like miniature videos or like 5 miniature videos of how to get onboarded, what they can expect, signing the contract, that sort of stuff. So yeah, guys, hope that you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because it really does help me out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.